Today, I'll be talking about how you can begin to battle fear, whether this be if you're just starting out on your fitness journey or you're venturing further down your fitness journey or just life in general. Now, as we kind of dive into this discussion, a lot of times what keeps people back from beginning to enter into a season of development and progression is really fear. And fear really, it starts in the gut and it comes from places of trauma and insecurity. And when one begins to attempt to change themselves and develop themselves, a lot of times these demons and these monsters from either the past or the insecurity that stems from you being unable to see the future, they will present themselves. And this comes in the form of restricting you. And so really what fear is the mechanism by which your being is restricted and oppressed. And so when you begin to really fight fear and battle with fear, the only way to do so is with courage and bravery. And a lot of people in modern society believe that courage and bravery looks like jumping out of a car to save someone, or jumping out of an airplane, or running onto a battlefield in these, great displays of heroics. But really, true courage doesn't look like this. The true courage looks like you beginning to talk in front of a large group of people, or courage could look like you admitting that you've done something wrong, or courage could look like you simply going in the mirror and facing reality. And so courage looks like whatever it is for you where you overcome that fear. And courage exists out in front of us as human beings. Truly, courage is the dawn of a new hope. While fear is sneaky. Fear will creep up on you. Fear is always right around the corner. And despair is the best friend of fear. Truly, what fear does is it brings you down until it crushes you, it suppresses you, it makes you unwilling to take a step forward. Because what fear doesn't want you to realize is fear does not want you to realize that when you begin to face fear, when you choose courage over and over again, what you do is you build up your will. And when you build up your will, what will happen is that when it comes time to face fear, your will be strong enough to suppress it. What I'm talking about is not getting rid of fear. You'll never get rid of fear. You'll never get rid of anxiety completely. But what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to transmute those emotions from ones of negative in nature and raise and begin to elevate them to higher natures. And so when those dark aspects begin to present themselves, instead of staying in the darkness, what you'll allow to happen is you'll grasp onto the light and use the light to venture forth and construct a beautiful palace. But in order to do so, you must first reach out and grab the light. Even in a sea of darkness, even in the furthest corners of the universe, light exists. And this is relevant within the universe and the cosmos. It can be relevant within your life. And so really what I'm speaking of is you retaking and regaining power within your own life. And that is what will give you that courage and that bravery in order to face those fears, because fear comes in many forms, shapes, and sizes. And so understanding this will give you the realization that, okay, it's not so much that the problem or the circumstance or the situation is too big for me or is too scary for me. What more so is that I just need the courage to simply step forth in order to face that obstacle. And even if you get knocked down flat on your back, even if you realize to face up to those monsters and those demons and you get straight up caught on the chin, you get two-pieced, at least you know, okay, I'm willing to do it. And every time you're willing to do that, you'll come back 2 times stronger, because now you'll come from a different perspective. I remember when I sucked at, I wasn't the best at writing. I wasn't the best at talking on camera. And really, I was fearful of expressing myself fully. And this might come from for the individual, this might come places of insecurity. This might come from a place of you're not ready. This might come from a place of you don't, what do you really bring to the table? And so when you begin to face those fears, you gain the courage of every time you step back into, re-entering that fight with the fear. You're like, hey man, I'm coming from a different perspective. I've done this before. I've been here. I know that right's coming. I know that uppercut's coming. Let me go ahead and roll to the right. Let me go ahead and jab. Let me step back. Let me go ahead and give you this quick two-piece. Let me switch my feet real quick. Let me go ahead and hit you with the southpaw and maneuver myself as I need to. So continue to re-enter the fray. What will happen is you'll develop every single time. And so you have to keep coming, keep facing. And so when you come back, you'll come back with more knowledge, more insight, and then you'll begin to develop a game plan on how to overcome those fears. You'll begin to implement strategies and processes. You'll implement routines and things. So now when you begin to face fear, you're not coming from a one-dimensional perspective. You're coming from not only a multi-dimensional perspective, you're coming from a multifaceted perspective as well. And so, and even further now, we can get into, now you got allies helping you out. And this is talking about fear from, not only like mental fears in terms of facing your trauma and facing your past, but also like physical fear and facing bullies and facing individuals that want to demean and depress you, to facing societal fears and of how do you view yourself as an individual and placed in society. And so if you do all these, you'll see and you'll gain not only tremendous power, but you'll regain the realization of what it means to fully express self. If you found this of value, click like, click subscribe. I'll be continuing to release more and more videos to help individuals discover and develop self, as well as helping individuals on their fitness journey. You guys stay blessed and have a great rest of your day.